11 games today in the end. We're going to break down 3 of them, as well as best bets at the end of. We've got props, we've got plays, and looking for one. I'm Andrew. I have Carmine and Lauren Presman to talk hockey with us as always. Carmine, good morning, friend. What games are we talking about today?
Morning, Andrew. And we have Carm doing the ladder challenge today and then venting after the first game. But we're going to get to the games first, more importantly on this one. We're going to do the Pittsburgh Penguins, New York Islanders. We're going to talk about the rivalry, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins. Of course, we've got the Leafs on because the Prez is here. Andrew, you're going to give us some more prop plays in your prop segment. Then we're going to talk about the Colorado Avalanche, getting a little bit of help with some players back on the ice and returning against the Seattle Kraken, the ladder challenge, and then we'll finish it off with 3 show best bets. Both best bets hit yesterday. You can take unders. If you don't want to watch the game, they can still hit. The under hits for Andrew in the first game. The under hits for me in the New Jersey game. I was pretty happy about that, the way that one played out. But with that said, we got to go right to the first game. New York Islanders -135, Pittsburgh Penguins +115. Sorokin confirmed for the Islanders, and such a good goals against average this guy has. High save percentage, .922, and yet he's 3-3. Prez, it is what has happened to the New York Islanders the last few years. Sorokin plays very good, and they just can't score for him. How are you attacking this game? And welcome to the Tuesday show.
Carmine, thank you so much for having me, my brother. A little bit upset last night. Had a losing night for my clients, 2-3, and really it was the under in the Kansas City game that cost me that win, and everything had to go right for overbetters for that to hit. As for this New York Islanders game, listen, Matthew Barzal out. Initially, my reaction was to take the Rangers on Sunday. I ended up not getting there. They ended up losing. Now they're playing at home, and they're playing against this Pittsburgh team, and this Pittsburgh team is coming off of 2 wins in a row, and really that's where we're going to start this handicap. Pittsburgh sucks. I don't think they're going to win 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row many times this year. The bottom line is they're on the road now, first game. They're playing a wounded New York Islanders team that really needs to start putting some W's together. We look at this team with or without Barzal. I think the Islanders are a better team. They have better depth up front. They have better depth on defense, especially. Pittsburgh's defense is a joke. And they have much better goaltending. This is a -145 price. I like it, and I like under the total of 6 as well. I think we're going to see the Islanders play a real tight defensive hockey game and a slow crawling game. I wouldn't be surprised if this game is 2-1 with an empty netter at the end for a 3-1 New York Islanders win, or maybe even an overtime 3-2 New York Islanders win. So I like the Islanders, and I like under the total, and I'm not betting either of them.
And you're not betting? Yeah, I love that part of it. I get it. It's good to have an opinion on it, but also tell people that you're not betting on it. Which is obviously an important part of it. If you're not going to put your own money on it, you can still have an opinion on it, and you let people figure it out for themselves, but listen to some of what you are offering up. I talked about Sorokin, Andrew, 8-5 lifetime in 13 starts against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Obviously, these are 2 teams that are very familiar with themselves, with each other, and have been through the years. And I tend to agree with Prez. I think long term, as this season shakes out, the Islanders are going to have a better season than the Pittsburgh Penguins. Whether that's enough for either one of these teams to possibly get into the playoffs, I doubt. At best, I would say the New York Islanders are a team that is going to be vying for a playoff spot and likely miss out unless they can somehow find some scoring. That is their biggest problem. It starts with defense. When you're on a losing streak, the best way to get back into the win column is to play a strong defensive game first. So I agree with you on the under in this one. You're never going to see a 6.5. It's always going to be at 6 or 5.5 later on in the season if these two are meeting up. I like the under 6 in this one, Andrew. What are your thoughts?
Carmine, I just want to make sure you can hear me okay. I was having some issues earlier. You got me okay?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. Unfortunately, I'm on a little bit of a different side here with this one than the guys to start the show. I like the over here. As far as the matchup, 7-3 as far as the Islanders in the last 10 meetings, and 7-1-2 to the over last 10 meetings between these two teams. When I take a look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, they had 2 unders in a row in their last 2 games against the Anaheim Ducks and the Montreal Canadiens. You know, 2 teams, let's face it, as far as their own conferences are concerned, they're going to be at the bottom of their own conferences. I mean, Montreal off to not so good of a start, and the Anaheim Ducks are who they are. I think I understand the premise behind the Islanders having a chance to shut down the Penguins, but I also look at it this way. This is a chance for the Islanders to put up goals on a team, to face a team that's not strong defensively, to face a team that struggles with giveaways, that always has defensemen getting caught out of position. When I look at the Pittsburgh Penguins defensive core, I think it's one of the most overrated in the league. And you look at Chris Letang, he's not getting any younger. You look at Erik Karlsson, he's not getting any younger. You look at Graves and a couple other guys there on the blue line. I'm just not too impressed with them. And realistically, overall, with this Pittsburgh Penguins team, guys, they had 2 wins in a row, and at one point they scored 4 straight goals, and all 4 of those goals were from Sidney Crosby. It's not like this team is playing that well right now. I lean towards the Islanders' side, but I think this game could be an offensive explosion for both teams. The Islanders need to sacrifice defense for offense. That's the issue, and it's always been their issue. And I think in a game like this one against a Pittsburgh Penguins team that's very, very weak defensively, I think they can take those chances and be successful with them. To Carmine's point, we're always going to get 6s. We're not going to get a 6.5 in a New York Islanders game, which I think is advantageous. The fact that we're getting a 6 in a Pittsburgh Penguins game with how they play defense. And I also love the fact that you've got 2 very faulty games in a row where Pittsburgh looked like they played well defensively, but they really just played against bad offensive teams with Anaheim and Montreal. So I'm on the over 6 in this one. And I'll tell you what, I think these teams have a little bit of a rivalry to them. And if we see physicality, it could lead to power plays, which hopefully leads to power play goals.
All right, Andrew, I'm with you on that. Listen, before we get to Boston and Toronto, which obviously this is a game that I really want to discuss with the two of you guys. And I know this is a hockey show, but I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent here because we all watched the NFL football game last night. And this isn't the first time for this type of what I'm about to say, the reaction to how this game was decided. But this is a multi-billion-dollar league with billion-dollar teams, every single team worth billions of dollars. And they decide the game on a coin flip. This is how games are being decided in the NFL if they go to overtime and coin flips. Now, it's not the coin's fault. It's not the guy calling the toss's fault. It is a dumb rule that the NFL has that leads it open to both teams not possessing the ball if the first team gets a touchdown. The NBA's got it right. Game is tied, you play overtime. The game is still tied, you keep playing overtime. Each team has a chance to win. NHL, during the regular season, each team has 5 minutes, 3-on-3, and then a shootout. Each team has a chance to win. Soccer, I get it, European soccer, North American soccer, some championships decided by penalty kicks, but both teams have a chance to win. The NFL, you win the coin toss, you score a touchdown, the other team has no chance to win, and their whole season and their playoff chances can be decided on a dumb rule. The NFL, it's a dumb rule. Doesn't matter what side of it you're on. I was on the right side of it yesterday. I had the over, I had the KC over, so this isn't me venting about what happened yesterday as far as being on the right side or the wrong side. It is a dumb rule that the NFL has, and you would think that they would change it now, and they would change it in the future. And I don't want to hear about stuff about, well, player safety and injuries. Come on, give me a break. NHL games go sometimes 7 overtimes in the playoffs. We're not worried about injuries there. Man up, NFL, change that rule. It's just an old man yelling at the clouds here, guys. And with that said, Prez, I'm going to go to you on the Leafs and Boston Bruins. This line has gone from minus 150 down to minus 130, minus 125 in some spots for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And that is because of the news of Austin Matthews. He will not play tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So the Bruins are plus 110 tonight. It looks like it's going to be Swayman and Joseph Wall. Back-to-back shutouts for the Bruins. Prez, can they get the job done, this Toronto Maple Leafs team, without Austin Matthews? They missed him for a couple of games in the playoffs last year against Boston, and that series still wins 7 games. What are your thoughts on this one?
Carm, really, I just want to quickly add to your old man screaming at the clouds. Firstly, it's old bald man screaming at the clouds. And secondly, I agree it's the stupidest rule in football, the second stupidest rule. The first stupidest rule in football is that they only use a one-sided coin when Kansas City plays. And they tell Kansas City ahead of time which side. That's the worst rule in all of football. I mean, Jesus Christ, has Kansas City ever lost a freaking coin toss? Anyway.
In the Super Bowl. And they won the game.
Super Bowl. Okay, fine. Unimportant game, but whatever. I'm so sick of this Kansas City team. Now I want to scream at clouds. Oh, I get on today and Dan's like, I hate Pat Mahomes. I don't hate the guy. I think he's pretty damn. I'd like to swap lives with him. Anyway, this is a perfect spot to bet the Leafs. Perfect. A couple of reasons why. Number one, they've lost 2 in a row. Leafs aren't going to go on long losing streaks. Number two, for some absolute unknown reason to anybody in the entire universe, the Leafs always beat good teams. Number three, Austin Matthews being out makes us an even better bet. It brings the line down from 150 to 125. It allows the team to rally. This is not a situation where they lose, Quinn Hughes or something. This is a team that is loaded with talent. Nylander can score without Matthews. He doesn't even play on the same line. And that Nylander line is cooking right now. Marner can score without Matthews. Nyes is cooking right now. Great goaltending at home off of a loss, galvanized Leaf team. Mean-ass coach who's pissed off. Minus 125. I'll take the Leafs. Thank you.
Carm, I won't take the Leafs. I'll take the Bruins tonight.
Sorry,
I'll take
Andrew. I was reading some of the comments, so you'll have to excuse me. I wanted to see some of the comments after my rant, and I think one guy said, the games have to end at a certain time.
Why?
To me, that it's a dumb argument by the NFL. I know it's a hockey show that the games have to end at a certain time. At least college football, give the guys each a shot from the 35-yard line.
Well,
you just made that up, Carm.
No.
Why are you responding?
He's actually right about that. To bring it back to hockey terms, that's why they have 3-on-3 in hockey. To bring it back to hockey, that's why they do it. The whole travel situation, the rest thing, they don't want these guys playing longer than they have to be playing.
That's
Andrew,
not what he said,
Andrew. The movie,
he said Andrew, they have to.
Have you ever seen the movie Con Air? Have you ever watched the movie Con Air?
Loved it.
With Nicholas. This is how teams used to travel back in like the 80s, early 80s in these, or like Major League Baseball. If you ever watched Major League Baseball, the Cleveland Indians one with Charlie Sheen, in those old planes where they had to hold on to a piece of rope as the plane. This is how they flew these guys are have jets. They have private planes. The travel now is the biggest scapegoat you can use as far as NHL or NFL teams and travel, and NHL teams and travel. Come on, man. Conditioning, everything is so much different right now. But that's an argument for another day, Andrew. Are you on the Leafs today? Are you on the Bruins? How are you approaching this game?
Well, look, I've been on the Leafs this season. I've made money on the Leafs this season. I've lost money on the Leafs this season. I agree with the premise that Prez said about the fact that they show up against good teams. I took the Leafs against the Winnipeg Jets when they handed the Jets their first loss of the season. Loved that spot. But I feel like right now, because of the new coach, there's still this effect around the team and media and people that they're a different team. And this is why at the start of the year, I said it would take time. You know, I keep on saying you can take a horse to water. You can't make them drink. So far, these guys aren't drinking the Kool-Aid that Craig Berube is pouring for them. So just because a new coach is standing behind them on the bench, I'm not seeing a different team. In fact, I'm seeing them have the exact same record at this point in this season that they had the last season and the year before. So nothing really has changed so far with this team. It will down the line with Craig Berube. But right now, you got two desperate teams, two teams that aren't happy with themselves. And I would say on one side, you got a coach that's probably worried about his job security. And I feel like that'd be a real tough thing for Boston Bruins fans to deal with after they fired a coach just 2 or 3 years ago with Bruce Cassidy, and he went on to win the Stanley Cup the next year with the Vegas Golden Knights. But as people probably know, Boston 7-3 last 10 meetings between these two teams just a couple weekends ago. This team cruised to a victory in overtime, but there was one guy that prevented them from winning in regulation, and that was Austin Matthews, who scored a goal late in the third period, sent the game to overtime. Unfortunately, it was a bad turnover there, and then Marchand scored in overtime there. When I look at this Maple Leafs team right now, they added a lot to their defense. Their defense has gotten better, and Stolarz has been good. Joseph Woll has been good. But they have scored 2 goals or fewer in 6 of their 13 games this season. And now we're going to take out the best player on their team. You know, when McDavid went out, I thought for a game or two the Oilers could rally around them. But I don't think in this spot the Leafs are going to be able to rally around without, missing their top guy. They're 10% this season on the power play. They're 4 for 40. It's not going to get any better without their sniper being out there tonight against the Boston Bruins. I like the Bruins tonight to get the job done. It's going to be a client play for me. Not my best client play of the day because that one is $5. And there's a $5 play up. We all get one, all 3 of us. I'm not sure if these guys have a hockey one or not. Carm, I think you do. Tell us about that and your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, I do have one up. That we had New Jersey yesterday as well too against the Oilers. I thought it was a good spot for the Devils. As I mentioned on yesterday's show, off that the weekend of rest after playing the Flames and losing on Friday night. $5 play. It is the last day to take advantage of that $149 deal where you can get 30-day all access for $149. It's an absolutely great deal. It works out to like $5 a day. So it's like $5 a day every single day for a month. And Andrew and I will have a promo as well up shortly as well too that you guys can take advantage of. Andrew will give you the coupon code on it. Andrew, this one, we're on opposite sides of this one. I have to, it pains me to say it, lean with the Prez on this one. I honestly believe that this, and maybe my success rate in picking the Toronto Maple Leafs to win this season hasn't been a great one. So take this opinion with a grain of salt. But I do believe in not the next man up mentality, but that the Leafs can get it done. They played some very good defensive games last year in the playoffs against the Boston Bruins. That whole series, 7 games, there was only 2 games in which they even got to 6 goals in those games, and those 2 games both had empty net goals in them. There were a lot of 2-1 games in there, and Matthews did miss, I think it was 2 or 3 goals. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. The Leafs hung tight with them. This is one on home ice against the Bruins team that probably feeling a little bit good right now. Well, back-to-back wins and back-to-back shutouts against the Flyers and the Seattle Kraken, who can't seem to score goals at the moment right now. So there's a little more scoring on this Toronto Maple Leafs team than there is on the Philadelphia Flyer team and that Seattle Kraken team. So we'll see how Swayman does if he starts tonight in goal for the Bruins. But the dip in price, is Matthews worth 25 cents? Probably. But it doesn't mean that without him, the Leafs can't win. So I'm going to take the buy low price on the Leafs, hold my nose, and hope that I am not wrong yet again on the Toronto Maple Leafs this season. So that's my thought on this one, Andrew. And I want to go to you to keep this show moving along on your prop program, because you've been spitting out winners, man. Give us some more on tonight's card.
Carmine, I appreciate it. We're going with just 2 props today in the prop playbook segment. And before I jump in, I will just say one final time on this segment, that deal 149 to get 30 days of NHL plays expires tonight at midnight, guys, or I guess tomorrow at midnight. But last day, guys, regardless, to get that 30 days of NHL plays, you're going to get my favorite sides, my favorite totals, team totals, overnight plays, late ads, every single thing that I bet and release in the NHL. 149 you guys can get. And again, these prices change all the time. I have one monitor in front of me. I have a bunch of monitors. One monitor constantly has an odds screen up. I'm constantly watching the odds and want to give you guys the best numbers you possibly can bet. All right, we just talked about the Leafs and Bruins game. Well, when one door closes, another one opens. And Prez did talk about it on PuckTime today about Nylander. Well, I think Nylander will step up. We're going to go over 3.5 shots on goal for him at plus 100. When one goal scorer goes down, the next guy has to step up. And I feel like he's going to have the green light to shoot the puck a ton of times. And he has been playing his best hockey when he plays at home. It's exactly where the Maple Leafs are playing tonight against a rival in the Boston Bruins. Will take Nylander over 3.5 shots on goal. Let's look at Noah Dobson from the New York Islanders over 2.5 shots on goal. This one, a little bit of juice here, minus 135, but a defenseman prop here at 2.5. This guy's shooting the puck a ton from the point, and he's playing the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are at the top of the league, bottom 5 as far as dangerous chances allowed per game and expected goals allowed per game. They give up a ton of shots, a ton of chances, and Noah Dobson from the blue line will continue to shoot the puck. I know, guys, 11 games today. I wanted to get back on track with this segment, give you guys 2 player props for Tuesday night. That's it for me, Carm. 2 plays. Hopefully we can cash these tickets. Back to you.
Cash in, man. You don't have to have a lot. You just have to have a couple good ones. That's the most important thing. But speaking of good ones, it depends on how you want to take this game. And we're going to go to you, Lawrence, first on this one. But the Colorado Avalanche, minus 180. Seattle Kraken, plus 150. The total here sits at 6.5, shaded 20 cents to the under. Looks like it's the Cord and Annunen. And Annunen has been good in goal for, he sort of took over that number one thing for Georgiev, who's been struggling, 1-4 straight, then had a couple of games off, and then loses to the, I think it was the Nashville Predators. The ironic thing is their last 3 games have ended 5-2 for this. The final scoreline was 5-2 for Colorado. Prez, I know you like these same game or same or exact score predictions. 5-2 for Colorado in this one. It pays at $1,400. I'm not sure if you're going to put any of your edible money on it, but the Avs are starting to get a little healthy now. Give me your thoughts on this one.
Well, 5-2 is exactly the score of the last 3 games they've played in, except they've lost all 3 of them. Before we get into that, guys, I also would like to take a moment to promote myself. It is $5 Tuesday. And my $5 play is basically, if you like money, you're going to buy my play. It's $5 freaking. I've been telling you guys for weeks that my NFL ATS bets are a thing of beauty. I'm not kidding you guys. I went 2-1 this past week in NFL ATS bets. I'm 12-6 on the season. That's 67%. I am 48-25. 48-25 in NFL ATS bets. I'm on a 10-3 run in NFL ATS bets. Last week, I had my first 4% NFL ATS bet on Arizona. It won by 23 points. 23 points. This week is my second 4% NFL ATS bet. Honest to God, I mean, how many people are in the chat room? 233 people. If I don't have 233 sales in the next hour, I don't understand why you guys are even in this chat room. Legit. It makes no sense to me. $5 for a play that's 67% over 3 years. So that's that. I do have a promo going. PASS3, PASS3. That's 3-day all access for $39. So basically, it's 3 days for the price of one. It gives you guys a perfect opportunity to see how I write my analysis, my thought process, etc. And I'm slaying it in college basketball for the last 2 years. NBA has been insane for the last 2 years. I'm on a 5-1 college football run. This is a perfect time to play the Prez. Okay, shut the hell up, Prez. Well said, Washington Redskin. Blah, blah, blah. I agree. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I like the Avs tonight, Carmine. I like them in regulation. Look, something's got to give here. Seattle lost 3 in a row, scored 1 goal in their last 3 games. Have been playing good defensively, though. Allowed Boston 2, Ottawa 3, Toronto 4. Kraken's in a little bit of a free fall, but so is Colorado. The difference here is that Colorado's a Stanley Cup contender. They've been injured as hell. They need to turn their season around. I don't think they're losing 4 games in a row more than once or twice all year. I think this is a low number for regulation. That's where I'm going.
All right. And Prez, listen, I know we're friends, so I'm not saying this because we are friends, but we are co-workers, and you're on a fantastic run across a lot of the sports that are in play at the moment. So yeah, guys, go out there. I always have fun. I always enjoy saying this. Go grab his package over at WagerTalk. Make the man happy. Hit that like button, guys. We appreciate your likes. We get a lot of you guys in Parker, Hal, Coach, Russell Deck, Nebraska Knows. A lot of you guys tune in each and every day. TJ Salvador. We really appreciate you guys in the live chat. And then you guys who post afterwards who can't watch it live. We really appreciate you guys each and every day. This is we love doing this show, and we'll continue to do so as long as we can get those numbers up. Andrew, I'm going to go to you on your thoughts on this game, and then you can give out that promo code, because my opinion, I'm going to turn my opinion on this game into step 1 of the ladder challenge. So I will go to you on this one. Colorado, Seattle, how are you playing this one?
Car, my opinion on this game, it's kind of a hold your nose type of opinion. It's an ugly one. It's one of those opinions where you wouldn't really even want to watch the game. And the reason being is because I like the under here. And it's hard to stomach taking an under in a Seattle Kraken game right now, because they either get, the brakes beaten off them, or they beat the brakes off their opponent. And the last time they did that was against the Canadiens last Tuesday when they put up 8 goals. Since then, it's been absolutely horrible for them, and they've been struggling. The Avalanche have been up and down. They had some wins against poor teams, but then when they go back to play a decent team again, they struggle. This is an Avalanche team getting Arturi Lehkonen back today. It's been confirmed. Valerie Nichushkin, I think I read, is going to be back on the 15th of November. They're slowly but surely getting back key pieces to their team. But when I look at this team overall, I know that until they're healthy, they cannot play first to 4 goals wins hockey, because they will not win that battle. And Seattle right now, I've been pretty good at picking these spots lately for some of these teams. Seattle right now needs to play their best defensive game of the season. They're struggling defensively, and the best way to get out of a rut is to not play open hockey, is to not play free hockey, is to almost sit back, protect your own end, and counterattack when you can. Under 6.5 for me, Carm. I will not watch a wink of this game, and it's going to be a tough one to swallow, but I'm looking for a low-scoring one. How are you choosing to bet this game when you're climbing the ladder in this play?
Yeah, so I look at it, and this is I'm going to turn this into a ladder play and talk about it shortly. But I always say to my clients and the guys who have, whether it's 30 days, whether they have the full year of NHL, if you're following me on Twitter and I'm not following you back, you just let me know. Drop a message in the comment section below. I will follow you so you can send me messages. I talked to a couple of clients this morning and highlighted some teams that I am going to be betting against over the next 5, 6, 7 games because of scheduling issues with these teams. And those are where money can be made. So with that said, I want to get into this one. This is a Seattle team that's struggling right now. Colorado is starting to get healthy, guys. And it starts with the fact Artturi Lehkonen is back. He's in the lineup tonight. These are the 3 lines. And with Artturi back, we're starting to see the lines form like they were last year. So you're seeing guys like the first line, Lehkonen, McKinnon, Rantanen, Kivi Ranta, Middlestad, Logan O'Connor, line 2. Ivan, love that name. Ivan, first and last name the same.
Best name ever.
Kelly, Kovalenko. They're getting back to their lines, guys. And then you have Jonathan Drouin, who's back skating, non-contact jersey. He'll be back shortly. On the 15th, Nikushkin returns. He's in the third stage of the NHL's player assistance program. We're not going to get into that. The players are waiting to welcome him back into the lineup. This team is going to start winning some games. I'm taking them on the ladder challenge, -1.5, +140 tonight. I say they win by 2+ goals here against a team that is clearly struggling in the Seattle Kraken. And that Seattle Kraken 3-game skid could turn into like a 5 or 6 game skid before all is said and done. Give me the Colorado Avalanche -1.5, +140 as the ladder play. Prez, I'm going to go to you first. What do you have up at WagerTalk and $5 Customer Appreciation Day? Let us know what you have up across all sports and give us a show best bet, please.
Carm, you know already about my 5%, my 4% play. It's $5. It's an NFL ATS bet. I got a huge card tonight, though, for my clients. I got 3 NHL plays. Very rare that I have 3 NHL plays. I have 1 college football bet. It goes tonight, 5-1 run in college football. And most importantly, I have a college basketball total tonight. I'm 9-1. I'm on a 9-1 run from last year in college basketball totals. And my college basketball, 66 units of profit last year. 59% win rate. Amazing stuff. My college hoops is incredible. Anyway, my best bet tonight is the Vancouver Canucks in regulation. Really like this play a lot. One of the angles I love to use in betting, and this comes right from the mouth of some professional athletes that I know well, and that is I want to play on a team that won their last game but played like shit. That's what Vancouver is. They played like dog shit last game against San Jose. They should have won that game going away. It was one of the most dramatic hockey games ever, especially considering Carmine at 5% on Vancouver in regulation. And San Jose tied it up with like 40 seconds to go, and then Vancouver pulled out a miracle win. So shitty performance from Vancouver last game. And now they got the Anaheim Ducks, who are just horrible. I think they win going away in regulation. 5-2, Carm. Thanks for having me, guys. Love doing this. Make sure to watch WagerTalk today at noon. I'm taping the penalty box segment in 10 minutes, and I've got the NFL presidential address going later on today. Lots of love, everybody. Hit that like button.
All right. Not enough
Andrew?
picks for Prez on this show. He has a whole new show he's giving out hockey picks on as well on the WagerTalk channel.
Well, I didn't get to pick these
nice.
picks, Andrew. You told me I needed to speak about these games. There's other
true.
games I like, you know? Oh, and by the way,
That's true.
Andrew, I wanted to offer you like a shave the head bet on the Boston-Toronto game tonight.
I've been liking my
I'll take
hair
that.
lately, Prez. No, I can't do it.
Yeah, I'll go with Carm. Carm, let's have a shave your head bet.
Guys, Andrew, before we get into your show best bet, and I know you have a promo code for both of us, I am going with Lawrence, and Johnny Detroit will be in town on Friday. We are going to the Detroit Red Wings Toronto Maple Leafs game. after the show, I am going to a hockey store. I'm going to buy a Detroit Red Wings jersey to wear to that game because it's what I do. I troll as much as I can. My good friends, not complete strangers, my good friends, I troll them. I am going to give that Detroit jersey away on a future show. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to wear it to the game. Hopefully, Detroit gets the win. But with that said, Andrew, give us a free play on today's show. Let us know what you have up for a $5 customer appreciation day and a promo code if you got one.
Yeah, we'll start with that promo code. This one is applicable for the both of us, Carm, and I'm looking forward to it. You guys liked this promo code the first week of the season. We're running it back again. That promo code, PUCK7, 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 gets NHL for a week for $49, $7 a day, $49 every single play we release. $5 today, but regular plays, $25. A 5% play is $35. You can get all of our plays for 1 week, $49. Go to my page, go to Carmine's page, use that promo code PUCK7. As far as tonight's concerned, $5 best bet available, and it's a team total. I decided to only worry about one team tonight. Forget about the full game over. I've got one team looking to get over their team total for me. Feeling really good about this spot for them. And speaking of goals, let's get some goals in the Islanders and Penguins game, can we? I mean, the Penguins back-to-back under games, I'm not buying that. They played the Canadiens and the Ducks, all right? They're going to go back to being high-scoring tonight. And the Islanders, yes, they usually are involved in low-scoring games. That will not be the case tonight as these two teams clash. 7-2-1 last 10 times they've met. As far as the over is concerned, I expect goals in that game. All right, Carm, before I throw it to you, actually, just a reminder, 149 works for Prez, NBA, NHL. Works for myself, NBA, NHL. Works for Carmine, NBA, NHL. Last day, last call. A lot of you guys have been taking advantage of this deal. 149, no promo code needed for 30 days of NHL or NBA. Make sure you guys grab that. That will be over tonight. All right, Carm, I'm done. I've reached my word count. Over to you.
Yeah, that's it. You used up all your English words. Guys, my free one play up as far for the $5 customer appreciation play. Last week's, I wish this week's could go as easy as last week's was with the Ottawa Senators winning 8-1 against the Blues. But we have a play up, $5 with the complete analysis on the game as well. And then 3 plays up in this afternoon's match day 4 of the Champions League. You can get those there as well too. Andrew mentioned the coupon codes. My free play is going to be going right back to that Colorado game. I mentioned it. I like as part of the ladder challenge, -1.5 plus 140. We're going to ride that play as your free play on the show. And let's hope it gets there so we can turn that step ladder into a full ladder and get to steps 2, 3, and 4. Guys, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. It's a big day south of the border, guys. Get out there and vote. I don't need to know who you're voting for. Nobody needs to know who you're voting for. Get out there and vote. And while you're out there, donate some blood, guys. The life you save might be yours. For myself, the Prez, Andrew McInnes, and our producer, Dan Alexander, this is Puck Time. Thanks for tuning in.